Here we go. It is time for the official last video of 2025. If you're from Australia, like I am, New Year's Eve is actually today, so we will be celebrating the New Year tonight. If you guys are overseas, you've got another couple of days to wait. So you're celebrating nothing but LeBron James's birthday today. The dude's turned 41 and is still an amazing basketball player. It blows my mind, still to this day. But for this video, I'm basically just going to go into the bottom two teams in each conference and basically just bring the positives out of them. Because every one of those four teams has something positive to talk about. It doesn't really seem like it at the moment for some fans, especially if you're in a position where you're so diehard to that team that losing sucks. You don't want to watch your team lose ever, and you don't want to sort of sit through that. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to bring the positive side of it out. So I've got the two teams. We've got the Kings and the Pelicans for the Western Conference. And I've got the Wizards and the Pacers for the Eastern Conference. First of all, I'll start with the Western Conference because, yeah, why not? The Western Conference is usually, it's debated as the better conference of the two. What you can argue sort of with your fridge about that one, but it can go either way. The Kings are the top of my list because they are slightly above the Pelicans. The biggest thing for me with the Kings is they have had the hardest strength of schedule so far this season out of any team in the entire association. They have played the Minnesota Timberwolves more times than I would actually like to count. They've played the OKC Thunder twice. The Spurs have been in there. The Nuggets have been in there a few times. They are just getting so unlucky with all of these great teams coming into one. By far their best win of the year so far this season was that win last week that they had against the Houston Rockets. We all know Houston is a great basketball team in their own right. So winning a game against a roster like that shows a glimmer of hope for the team. And I think that most of all, it just sort of encapsulates how unlucky that this team has been. Sabonis has only suited up for a handful of games this season, and he is by far their best player on the roster. Zach LaVine has had spurts on the offensive side of the ball. Sometimes he is great. Sometimes he is a great basketball player, and sometimes he just can't get it to go on offense. DeMar DeRozan is aging like fine wine. You put DeMar DeRozan in a mid-range situation at any point in time, and he is going to score the basketball. It is as simple as that. There is so many semi-good things about this team where you look at them and you think they can be a lot better than they actually are. Because they found Russell Westbrook, who they picked up off the street with 2 days before the season was starting. And Russell Westbrook has been incredible for them. He's had a few different triple-doubles. He's had games where he had a 16 rebound performance against the Warriors, which, in all honesty, we also let Scotty Barnes get 25 rebounds the other night. So, we're really small, but that's a story for another day. Russell Westbrook has been so detrimental to this team. He started off the bench, and then next thing you know, he was in the starting unit. One, because of the injuries, and two, because his play was so good that it was stupid not to put him in the lineup. And Dennis Schroeder was another one. Dennis Schroeder has been a really great basketball player for pretty much every team that he's been on. I think Dennis Schroeder has been one of the most underappreciated players basically in the last 10 years because he just impacts winning on rosters. Obviously, there isn't a lot of winning going on in Sacramento at the moment, but for the most part, he hit that big shot against the Rockets the other night and got that stop against Kevin Durant. So, he just can do little winning plays that makes that team so much better. And for the Pelicans, my next team on the agenda, the biggest sort of takeaway that I can take away from this team is that they are slowly becoming healthy. Ever so slightly, they are slowly becoming healthy. Obviously, we've had Jordan Poole miss extended periods of time at the start of the season, who has just come back, and he has looked great. ever since his comeback. He's scoring the basketball at a clip that Jordan Poole should. He's making plays as a playmaker, which throughout the course of Jordan Poole's career, he wasn't really doing a lot of that. Well, like coming off the bench for the Warriors, he was just the plug microwave scorer who would come in, shoot the ball, score the ball, and go back to the bench. For the Wizards, I mean, I don't know what you really wanted him to do on that Wizards roster. There really wasn't a lot of people you could play make to at the time. He didn't really get much chance to, play with any impactful people on that roster. So he couldn't sort of play make to himself. He just went out and took it as a stock increase. He could build his stock up. He can get traded elsewhere. And now he's found himself with the Pelicans, which I think the expectation for the Pelicans this season was probably slightly higher than they are achieving at the moment. But with all of these players coming back, Jordan Poole, Zion Williamson is back and actually healthy, which is amazing for all Pelicans fans. I think all Pelicans fans just want a healthy Zion Williamson. That is it. I think that is just all they ask for. It's all they want. And if he is able to stay on the court for the rest of the season, he will continue to impact winning for this roster. They obviously are on a 4-game losing streak at the moment. But prior to that, they were on a 5-game winning streak. Obviously, are in a very sticky situation. The vibes are sort of hard to tell with this roster at the moment as well. Whether they're very good or very bad, we actually don't know. Because they go on a high like that winning streak, and I think the vibes go up, and Derek Queen's getting involved, and Jeremiah Fears. Both of these players that they've pulled out of the draft this year have been really good for them. Jeremiah Fears is one of the quickest players in the entire association. He is able to get defensive rebounds and be up the other end of the court in about 2 seconds. That's just what it feels like. And Derek Queen watching him play is really strange because he moves a bit like a Jokic. Like, he's just so sporadic in his movements. He, decides out of nowhere to take a one-step Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway. And then the next minute, he's putting his head down Julius Randle style and just getting straight into the bucket. It's just like he has so many different gears that he can take as a player, which the more of this he builds into throughout the course of his career will be great. Mind you, the thing that they had to give up for Derek Queen was that first-round pick, for their own first-round pick for next year, which if they continue to lose a lot of games, that pick could end up being very valuable. So we will see how it goes. I think they can genuinely build on this, and once all their injuries have come back and once they have continued to play good basketball, they will start winning games. I have full confidence in this team. A lineup of Jeremiah Fears, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, and Derek Queen is a pretty good starting 5. Where the impact comes off the bench outside of, Jose Alvarado and Sadiq Bey, we don't know. But there is really good on this basketball team, and they can start to make an impact. Now, for the Eastern Conference, we jump over. I would have started with the Pacers if I made this video yesterday, but after a win yesterday, the Wizards are now in the 14th spot and slowly climbing. The Wizards are a weird one. The biggest note that I have in my notes here for the Wizards, and my biggest positive for them, is that Alex Sarr is a ridiculously good basketball player. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I've been following Alex Sarr really closely for this entire season. And outside of being second in blocks in the entire association, he's come back about a week ago. He came off an adductor strain, came back, and he's been on a minutes restriction ever since. And the other night against the Grizzlies, he played 25 minutes, but he had a double-double with damn near 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks. If he was playing his full rotation of that 38 sort of minutes that he probably will play once he gets more comfortable, I feel like he ends the game with a triple-double with blocks. Because he's a really good basketball player at getting downhill. He is a jump-shooting big man, which jump-shooting big man is very detrimental to the league this day. And even being a 35% three-point shooter as a 7-foot big is huge. And He's a great rebounder. His playmaking, I mean, they don't really, as the Wizards, they don't really build off him as sort of like a Sabonis type where you set him up at the top of the free throw line and you all move around him. That's sort of not how they're set up. CJ McCollum does a lot of the ball handling sort of roles. Same with Chris Middleton. And they just find Alex Sarr in the right spots. He'll take his pull-up jump shots. He'll take a 7-foot hook shot from, not far out of the ring. And just really be impactful. I think if you see Alex Sarr on a contending roster, he impacts that team so brilliantly well. I think he's quickly starting to show how valuable he could actually be to a team. And whether this is the Wizards trying to build him up to trade him away and get maximum profit out of him, or that they're building him because they want to construct around Alex, we're not too sure yet. There really hasn't been any reports out of the Wizards for this entire season, whether they're moving players or keeping players or what they want to do. But Alex Sarr is a really great basketball player. And I think if you can continue to build him for whatever you want to use him for, the Wizards will be in a really great position. The last team that I've got on my list for today, the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, it's a long, long fall from grace for the Indiana Pacers this year. It's like being in a 7-game series against the best team in the entire association, and now being the 15th seed in the worst team in the East. It's a lot to swallow all in one go. Like, there is so much change to this team. Like, you have signed Jeremiah Robertson-Earl to a contract. That is what the Pacers are at the moment. Like, the Pacers, they're so all over the place, and they've got so many people playing and not playing for this team. You've had Mac McClung come in. You've had James Wiseman come in. You had Monte Morris come in for a small stint of time. Like, they've had so many random hardship players that have came in and out of this roster this season because you've had Pascal Siakam miss time. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton's out for the whole year. TJ missed time. Aaron Nesmith missed time. All of your core pieces, you lost Miles Turner in free agency. All of their core pieces for that championship run, basically all gone in the click of a finger. Tyrese, we know when he comes back, he will be an amazing basketball player once again, and he will make this team so much better than they are at the moment. But as it stands with the Pacers, I think the biggest thing for them is that they have their own first-round pick for the next 5 years. They have not done any detrimental trades where they've emptied the locker. They haven't got rid of any of their picks. They've kept them all around. And this first-round pick this year especially could end up being a really great draft pick. And with how good that this rookie class is turning out to be, with AJ DeBonsa and Cameron Boozer and all of these great players that are reported to be coming into the league, having your first round draft pick and sitting where you are on the table might not actually be such a bad thing after all. Because you build off this, you get another great basketball player to pair alongside Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. Next year, you'll be straight up in the thick of it. Obviously, this season, I don't project them to really do a whole lot. And I think that it will just be a tank year for the Pacers where you are just sitting there and waiting for next season to be better. But I think they genuinely have the tools to make next year so much better. Because as long as they keep this roster intact, they go out and get a semi-serviceable center. Obviously, Jay Huff's been really good for them. Jay Huff has held down the fort as well as Jay Huff possibly can, being the leader in blocks. Jay Huff is the leader in blocks at the moment, which is insane to say out loud. But he is holding down the fort well enough. If you can keep him around and also get another center, like, I don't know what Brook Lopez's situation is with the Clippers or Zubac's situation, but I think one of those guys could be really good for your basketball team. And it's just a matter around building what this draft pick is next year. But yeah, that's basically it. That's me done for the rest of the year. Like, my year of content creation is basically at a close. I hope you guys enjoyed sort of looking at these positives of these teams, because trying to find positives sometimes is quite hard. So that's what I'm here for. I'm just pulling these teams apart, finding the best parts of them, and basically running with it. Thank you guys so much for the year of support that you guys have shown me. I have done more content this year. It has been miles ahead of my content that I did last year, in the previous year, because in the previous year, I completely skipped out on the NBA Finals. I didn't report on it at all. I don't know how you can call me an NBA broadcaster when I'm skipping out on a final series. Like, I'm just, yeah, the difference in content and support and everything that has happened this year has been so good for me. Like, I thank you guys so much. Obviously, this is only really part-time for me, and I can only sort of do it in small stints. But every single bit that you guys are enjoying is amazing for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will see you back in 2026. It's all going to go off again. It's going to be another great year again. The content's going to keep coming out. The short form content is continuously coming out. Like, I love doing this so much. And I thank you, any of you guys that are supporting me through this. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year's. Enjoy it. Spend time with your friends and family. And I will see you guys next year. Thank you so much, guys. Keep enjoying the hoops.